you're about to release a new album on January 3rd of 2025. The first time I call it an album in 25. So you guys are the first. So
Yep.
I'll try to say the words correctly. I don't speak Polish, so I apologize. So it's called
It's not a
ПРОРОК
problem.
No
ИЛИЯ.
worries.
Prorok
Yes.
Ilya is a prophet Ilya. Yeah.
Yes,
Yes.
ПРОРОК ИЛИЯ. Yes. So a concept album, right, that tells the story of a religious sect that existed in Poland around the 1930s and 40s, right?
Yes,
So,
correct.
yeah, so how did that theme come about for you guys? How did you choose it?
Yes, the story is about the well-known leader of the Polish sect. Well known not only in Podlasie, our region where I born. It's also well known in true Poland. And what is the story behind this? Once, as a teenager, I watched the Prophet Ilya theater on TV with the famous Polish actors. And then, since this story has lived in my head, and once had the idea that this will be nice to visualize it musically. So it took several years before I perfected the entire concept, and this is the final image of the story. We have a album with the music and with the story of Prophet Ilya. So, what is the story behind the concept of this album?
Yeah, so it is a very interesting story. Of course, I did my digging around and I read the story, and it is really truly impressive, right? So
Yeah, I used a lot of information from the people who knew the sect members, and also I relate on the works of Włodzimierz Pawluczuk, who in the 1780 years
yeah.
described the sect and the sociological condition of that period of time when the sect is born. The music was also based on the theater play of Tadeusz Slobodzianek, well-known writer in Poland. We are, of course, the places associated with the Grzybowska sect, like Grzybowska village and Wierszalin itself, because the Grzybowska is near the Wierszalin when the Prophet Ilya built the new Jerusalem, like he
Yes.
say, and it's the heart of Grzybowska village. And everything is in a Podlasie region, so it's my place where I born.
When I read this story, when I first got your material, and I thought, okay, so I'm going to do the research. And I read the story from this researcher that you mentioned, the 70s, right? He interviewed the original members of the set. It's amazing.
Yeah,
So I really dug into that, and I was really interested. I like these
yeah,
sort of messianic movements, right? It was a
yeah, yeah,
messianic
yeah,
movement.
correct. Yeah,
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 right. So the story centered around for the list for the viewers that don't know it. So the story centered around the village of Wierszalin, as you said, right?
Yes.
yeah,
New Jerusalem, right? They wanted to
yeah,
create New Jerusalem.
yeah,
Yes.
yeah,
So, and the prophet's followers would build the city in the woods, right? In a place in a
yeah,
country in the woods. Exactly.
yeah,
So a rural Polish area near the border with Belarus. So it's kind of the
correct.
backlands of Poland, kind of a
Yes,
forgotten by the powerful region,
yeah,
an
yeah,
area that was
but
enriched.
there's still some building is are in this place where the Wierszalin was built. And when you are check the video for our previous album, The Carpenter, this video for Wieczernia song, there you will see the place where this the video is Wierszalin. It's
Well, yeah, that's
this
great.
building. Yeah, yeah. So
Yeah.
the story is have a few years back when they starting thinking about this concept.
Yeah, so this seems like a perfect theme for a band that mixes black and doom metal with religious themes, right? But it's got a sacred element, but also a heretical touch to it because these new messiahs are heretics. They're against the
Yeah,
status
yeah,
quo of
correct.
the church. Talk about that a little bit, please.
The story itself is heretical and blasphemic. So we don't need any, any signs or something to use, the inverted crosses or something, because the story itself is a very heretical. And when you are searching about the prophet Ilya them, you can find all these things with the what happened with the in Virsalin and what happened with the prophet Ilya. In our story, we are not killed the prophet Ilya, or because we are mixing this everything with the biblical themes about the prophet Elijah, Elijah, biblical prophet, because this also compared with the biblical prophet. The prophet Ilya was compared with the biblical prophet. So this story is mixing everywhere. Is around the Orthodox music, around the biblical themes, and also we are talking about the prophet Ilya, of course, in lyrical.
Yeah, so with this album, your music goes to a whole new level. You're bringing different instruments into the music, like folk instruments that you didn't necessarily use before, right? And also the beautiful vocals of Elisa Saharchuk.
Saharchuk. Saharchuk, yeah.
Yeah, okay. I
It's,
didn't
yes.
know.
It's
So how was
another
it?
Polish word.
Yes, I'm sorry. I apologize in advance.
Is everything
Yeah,
in
no
Poland.
worries.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no
I
worries.
apologize, and I looked it up on Google.
Yeah, yeah.
It's necessary. Tell me the truth, Google.
Yeah.
Right. So, how was it creating this new sound for your band?
Yeah, no, that was a long process. Like originally the album actually was completely different. Like the first half was more or less the same as it is, but like the second half of the album was completely different songs. Uh but at some point we just figured out like the first half is so coherent and it sounds so good like the song after another that we went with this, with this flow. And we ended up creating like four completely new songs. And it was quite long and tough process. Yeah, we've got like a lot of folk instruments. It was over 1,000 tracks in the session at the end in the studio, so that was a lot. And we tried really hard to put everything that we could, because the mixing process was pretty tough. Because like when you have so many tracks, it's impossible to fit all, like everything on the song. So we had to choose what's the most important for every song, what has to be on the first plan, what can be in the background. uh yeah, it was pretty tough, but I think the outcome is really good. And yeah, we tried before on the previous EP on Sari Unibiesny, the Heavenly King. We did some orchestration for the first time in Pismo 6 song. But now I think, apart from one of the songs, the orchestration is everywhere and the folk instruments are almost in every song. And I think it's something completely new, fresh, like, that's an evolution of a band, basically.
I think it's in all songs. Also, it's female vocals, so it's yes, it's a really development and evolution of the band and the sound of the band.
Yes, it's something completely new. So with this album, it feels like the band is more than just a band, there's a lot more to it than just a metal band or a black metal band or whatever. So this is more like an opera. When I heard the album, and the way you put it, like Wir
Mhm.
Schalling 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it's like the movements of a symphony, of a
Yeah.
greater, a broader work, right? An opus, I would say, like
Yeah,
Yeah,
we're trying
Latin.
to, yeah, we're trying to, for us playing that music live is like, it's not necessarily like a typical concert. It's more like a theatrical show.
Yes.
And the whole album, it makes the most sense when you listen to it from the beginning to the end. like, that is like 45 minutes, because it's a one long story, and all the songs, it's like it connects pretty well, and there's like whole complete story about Prophet Ilya. I would say, yeah, it's like a theatrical experience.
Also, we are if we are talking about the symphonic and the opus like this, we have just prepared now for a symphonic show in January 3rd in Łódź in Poland, and everything is ready for to performance for a whole album, like with the symphonic orchestra and male choir. So it's also we are very exciting for this event. So
yeah, I think we're actually the first ones in Poland mixing such an extreme music with the live orchestra and live choir.
Yeah, it's going to be a whole male choir, as I read it
Yes.
somewhere.
Yes.
On your page, I think it was on your website.
Yes,
correct. You feature a male choir. You know what it reminded me of? It reminded me of Shostakovich. Shostakovich has a symphony called Babi Yar, symphony number 13 by Shostakovich. It has an all-male choir, and it has the same kind of depth that your music from this new album, Prophet Elijah, brought to me. So it's got this. It's like you guys are continuing the tradition of the great composers of Eastern Europe, and this is
thank you.
Kind of. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, this is a great thing, and to bring this to a metal audience, I think it's really great. So this album also brings some different singing styles, right? Like Byzantine monodies and like some
Russian monody, yes, of course.
Russian and some there's some polyphonic chants there too.
Yeah, polyphonic chants. Yeah. It's some kind of traveling where we are traveling for our inspiration. I think it's when you are here the Greek, you are here the Romanian vines, you are here the Russian, of course, Ukrainian. It's everything mixing in our music, but it's still Orthodox music. So we are showing for our listeners the specific of the Orthodox music, the sides of Orthodox music, like Greek sound, like a Romanian sound, and also like a Byzantine Russian sound. So yes, it's good that you're talking about this, because this album is a lot of that things.
So so do any of you have like a background, like in the study of religious music, like an academic background? Did you guys go to school to study this? Because it feels like you're teaching us this. You're teaching the audience this by example, right? You are making this music and bringing this to a wider audience that wouldn't necessarily listen to this type of music. You know what I mean?
Nobody must have academic music or something, like that. Yes, we are cooperate with Marek Papaj, that he have studied the academic music. That guy who responsibility for symphonic orchestra or folk instruments. But no, this is our maybe it's like we're interesting about this. I've been in a few lessons in well-known Polish teacher of Athos monks. His name is Professor Marcin Bielawski, who also teaching monks on the Athos mountain. and it's quite good experience for me. It's about the singing with him, but it's only 2 or 3 lessons. But we are still learning with Eliza Zacharczuk, who singing on our Marcin Abijski. Marcin Abijski is well-known Polish professor of Byzantic singing, and we're learning from also Eliza Zacharczuk.
Yeah, you're being our professors. You guys in your band are being our professors, which is great. So I certainly learned a lot from researching to do this interview for this album, and the music is just sublime.
You know, music. Our music is our passion. So everything it's something when you're searching and you're looking something new. It's always be fine to you when you're developing, when you're your experience is more when you're searching something new, of course, in your life. So it's music is our lifestyle.
As Bart said, I think none of us has any finished musical school or anything, and I think actually, I think that's probably why our music and the new album especially sounds so natural, because as much as it can sound like cliche, it just comes from our hearts, because we're lucky enough to have such a cool stories to tell about the world, and all of us, we have so many ideas about the new songs, the riffs, how to play them, and we're not caged in the system that you learn in the musical school. So it's all comes natural for us. So I think that's pretty much why it sounds the way it sounds.
Yeah, it is wonderful, and I'll bet that the audiences, when they hear it all, they're gonna be like, wow.
Well, hopefully.
It was wild by it. And let me ask you about the whole visuals of it, because the videos the music videos that had come out, and I'm guessing from what I've seen that there's more to come out, right?
Yes.
The story, the history. It's not just a story,
yes.
It's the history of Prophet Elijah. So is this a very important, is this an element that you guys thought of when you were making the music, that this was going to be more than just the music? Not that it's just the music, because music is already a lot, and it is a miracle because it can express so much more than visual arts, but having this whole complete artistic vision might be more like almost Wagnerian, in the sense that he built a theater, an actual physical theater, to have his opera staged, which was like the proto-cinema, right? And you guys have the cinema at your hands. You didn't have to invent it, right? But you have the cinema in your hands to make this vision come true. So can you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, it's Batushka, and now Prophet Patriarkh was always it's a conceptual band. So when we are talking about the music, it's always will be connected with the live performance, our live performance. It's all the stage elements, our verse ropes, sensual experience, the smell of the incense on our shows. It's like we say, it's a liturgy, it's some kind of ritual on the stage. And also if we are talking about the music, yes, it always will be connected with the vision, always will be connected with the what you see. So it's a live theater, yes, and also it's our videos. It's we're thinking about this before everything is also video is also conceptual. It will be 3 parts, We start from end, like sometimes in the films, So it's now will be the first part of the story. So that's the concept of this story, video story.
That's cool that we're actually able to film the music videos actually in the places where the events were happening, like years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is really cool. That is amazing. Not everybody gets to do that. And you guys have been able to do that. That's kudos to you. So I have a question about the way that you perform, right? So as a masked band, in quotes, you keep your anonymity while dressed as Orthodox monks on stage. So it also keeps it all a bit mysterious, right? These figures, it's figures. We know it's human figures on stage, but there is something slightly creepy and slightly mysterious and completely mysterious about it. So why is it so important not to show your faces while you're on stage? And is it difficult to perform with your faces veiled like that?
Well,
Like singing?
you can get used to it. We played so much, like at this point, yeah, for me as a guitarist, like the muscle memory is so, after like hundreds of shows, I can actually play the show like without looking for most of the time, because it's all in memory. But the face mask, I think the most important part is that we don't want the people to, maybe on the other side, we want the people to experience the show, like to not connect like with our faces and our emotions, but we're putting like the theatrical show, with just the figures, we're just playing the songs. We want them to totally immerse in the show, like a whole, not just looking at that guy and that guy is making stupid faces, that guy looks like that. We just want them to
focused on the music,
yeah,
and the live performance,
not on the musicians.
Yeah, correct.
Yeah. So with the mix of black metal and religious themes, is there any controversy with the Orthodox Church followers, and do they give you guys a hard time?
Sometimes. Yeah, there's one ongoing trial about one of the old videos from the first album, from Jektenia 4, because it was actually filmed on the Holy Mountain in Poland.
Grabarka, Orthodox
yeah.
Holy Mountain.
Yeah, there's like a huge mountain with a lot of Orthodox crosses. And yeah, we did a video there back in the days, and yeah, the Orthodox people, they weren't too happy about it.
So we have a case in the court.
Yeah, it is what it is.
Yeah.
Sometimes you have to take the risk to make, something cool.
Yeah.
It is cool. Yeah. So I have a question. I gotta ask about this, and you guys answer if you want to. Okay, but as a journalist, I must pose this question. So about the tale of the two Batushkas, right?
Yeah.
So you've had some legal disputes about the band's name, and now you call yourselves Patriarkh, right?
Yes, correct.
So how did that whole legal dispute affect you all as a band?
Oh, well, that was tough sometimes, but the case in Polish court is still ongoing because it's not final, and God knows how long it's gonna take for the further instances. But we figured out that that's actually the really good time to change the name, because there's new album, new music, fresh start. We just went to cut all the the legal stuff, leave it behind, just focus primarily on music. Yeah.
Yeah, because it's all these things that happen around the band name, all this hate. It's we remember what's happening with the Hospody album, so we didn't want to destroy our hard work by the few haters in internet. So that's what happened, and that's why we decide for change the name. And all these legal cases is still will be ongoing, and will be in the case. The cases in the court is ongoing, so that will be in our kitchen. That will be our private stuff, and that's why we are going in the maybe 2 steps back, because that will be a new name on the market. But people will be focused on our music and on our work.
Yes, and you got a new name, but you got a deal with Napalm Records, and right?
Yeah.
And
Right.
Is it true that Batushka, it means like father as in a priest, but Patriarkh means like the head of the church?
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. So
It's like a step, it's a step up.
yes.
Yeah, it's
Yes,
upgrade
yes.
Batushka.
Yes,
Yeah, Batushka 2.0. Yeah.
yeah. So, and I'm sure that all your fans will follow you no matter what. So there you are. I think you guys are safe, especially with such great music coming. So, what about touring plans after the album's release show that you guys spoke about that has a symphony orchestra and everything? Do you guys have touring plans already set for next year?
Yeah, we are in February. We're playing India Bangalore Festival. In March we are playing tour in Poland. All March and April and May we're planning the European tour. And then we will start summer festivals and autumn next year. I think maybe it will be the second part of the European tour, and 26th will be we are focused for North America, and I think it will be maybe South America and other these things.
Yes.
So yes, I hope that we will be touring a lot because live shows is our weapon, and we know that live shows it's good for a band for a persons like we are, and also it's our lifestyle. So we must touring a lot.
We're taking over the world. That's what I was gonna say.
Yeah,
Take over the world.
yeah.
Yes. Yeah. So is there anything else you'd like to say to your fans before we go?
Well, I hope everyone in Finland will love the new album. I can't wait to, be on the stage playing the whole album from the beginning to the end. Yeah, I can't wait. Can't wait.
So you guys are gonna do the whole album
Exciting.
for everyone?
Yeah.
Not
Yeah,
just,
we'll be
but not just the release show. Wow. So everybody, you
Yeah.
gotta check this out. Yes, you
Yeah.
gotta check this out.
Yeah.
I certainly will. So thank you, and thank you for talking to Chaoszine, and I wish
Thank you
you
so
all
much for
the
having us.
best.